Steve Robertson on the Out of Bounds show. Let's go to the defensive side of the football. Who had the better camp? Trevion Williams? I know they don't play the same position, but Trevion Williams or John Lewis?
Well, we get such a limited amount of practice to see. A lot of times, when we're out there, but only half of what we see is the varsity. But, talking to David Turner and talking to some of these guys out there, I think they feel good about both of those guys. I think John Lewis, really good chance that he's going to play starter reps. I think he and J.P. Purvis will rotate a good bit, but I think John Lewis is going to get the most significant action of his college career. And I think Trevion's a guy, too, that Trevion might actually have a higher ceiling, but because of the fact he is a younger guy playing behind a very experienced group, I think he's going to get second-team reps, but he's going to play a significant amount, too. But I think John Lewis can be a difference maker, and he needs to be. I mean, you lose Tyrus Wheat, was a guy that always impacted the play, even if he didn't make the tackle. And so there's some big shoes to fill there. But, J.P. Purvis is a guy that's been here forever and a day that's kind of played all over the defense. The state has some good options there. But I think John's probably the guy you look at and say, hey, who could be a difference maker on this team that maybe wasn't last year? I think John's the first name on that list.
Are you buying Deontay Anderson hype?
I am, but situationally. You know what I mean? Like if you're in 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12, it's an obvious pass rush situation. Yeah, you trot him out there as a 7 technique and let him chase the quarterback. I don't know that at this point that he is an every down player. Like would he be in there on 3rd and short? Probably not. But I think you use him just kind of situationally, and David Turner will know how to use him. Perhaps as good as anybody in the country. But I think he plays a good bit, but I think it's more situational type football.
Oh, who else? Give me another name that may have a little buzz. And I don't mean, everybody knows Crumity and Bookie and Jet, Pickering, those guys, DeCamerion. Is there another name that could be in the 2 deep that is showing that he could play a lot as the year plays out, or people believe he's got a lot of potential?
Calvin Dinkins from Lake High School, and redshirted last year. And people forget this. I mean, he was kind of a late bloomer. He was committed early on. I think Southern Miss was involved with him, Arkansas State. And the next thing you know, it's Florida and Mississippi State, and it's Baylor, So he really blossomed as a senior and wanted to come here, so it wasn't a total surprise when State got involved with him. But, this is a big, robust, barrel-chested guy that's out here that just kind of raised in small-town Mississippi. They kind of understand what it means to wear the maroon and white. So I think that's a guy, and he's been singled out several times by Arnett, Matt Brock. The other defensive lineman mentioned him as a guy that's going to be a big part of things. And that's a guy that I think a lot of our fans maybe don't know a lot about. They're going to look up and say, hey, who's that number 35 out there? Well, it's Calvin Dinkins. And I do think that he is a guy that gives them the ability to save some wear and tear on that first-team group, because I don't think there's a tremendous amount of drop-off. I think when you look at, his ceiling as a natural athlete, he might even be better than some of the guys in front of him. He just needs reps. But I think this is a guy that's going to be another Mississippi State, success story of, interior defensive lineman from small-town Mississippi that ends up having a chance to play pro football someday.
Don't miss one moment of the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. Weekdays, 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. on ESPN 105.9. The Zone.